What is intermittent fasting and can it help you lose weight?
Today we ask, what does intermittent fasting do for the body? Can everyone do it? Why is there so much controversy around it?
As a health coach and a wellness coach, we ask the questions so you get the answers. So let's get started as we ask.
Wait, what?
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Kamna.
I cannot say the word.
What word?
Intermittent.
I don't know if I can either. I didn't even try. Intermittent. Well, IF. All of my notes I just put IF. Did you too?
Yeah, we might be saying that a lot because intermittent, see, like it doesn't roll.
Maybe we should just say fasting and then people will know we're talking about intermittent fasting.
Okay. All right.
Or else we just say it and people just get a laugh that we don't know how to talk today.
Okay. Also, I would like to have a disclaimer before we talk about anything.
Okay.
Intermittent fasting is if you have an eating disorder or are prone to those types of problems, this may not be an episode for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. I don't want to harm anybody or trigger anybody to do behaviors that would hurt them.
It's a great point. Also, I would like to put the disclaimer out that we are not doctors by any means.
Oh, not even close.
Okay. Before we start, can I tell you a story real quick?
You know, I love these stories, and I can also already tell by your face it's going to be a good one.
I have my hands on my hips. You can't even tell. So we're recording the day after Easter, and I was with family, which I love all of my family. I just do. It's not a problem. But somebody said to me at one of my family parties, I'm not going to say who, just because you can make something doesn't mean you should. In reference to one of my sugar-free, all-natural desserts that I make basically for me, but I make enough to share for everybody because I'm trying really hard not to have any sugar. Really, really hard I'm trying. And I was livid when he said it. I wanted to start a fight on Easter Sunday so bad.
That's not a good time to start a fight.
I
shouldn't laugh.
So bad.
Does this person always poke at you?
Not at me. He pokes at everybody. He's just a jerk. Anyway, I was really mad. Really mad. And obviously I still am because I'm still feeling that frustration in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't because, I should be an adult and let it roll off my shoulders, right?
What? Well, no. We all have our points. The question I have for you is, why did this make you mad?
Because I didn't bring it for the whole, I wasn't told to make a dessert and share it because that maybe would have been I would have thought about everybody's feelings. I made it on the side of what else I made because I wanted to eat that instead of the other stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it was listen, I wasn't in charge of the desserts and only made this.
So I think what I kind of am getting out of this is you're trying to take care of yourself.
Right.
And you're making sure that you have your stuff set up so that you don't fall down. Right. And the fact that he's I don't really care about you and your health and your wellness. And it's just whatever. I don't care what you do. And that's, to me, what it sounds like. I don't care about you. That's where I go.
Maybe that's this line of thinking.
And that's, I think, the most hurtful thing. Is if you're trying to improve your health and you are just bringing something that you can eat, which happens to a lot of people, right? They're worried about going somewhere and they're worried about what am I going to eat? And there's all these desserts and there's all these rich, delicious foods. And what should I eat? And then if they take something, that should be perfectly okay.
Right. It should be okay for anybody to bring whatever they want to parties if it's one of those kind of parties, right?
Yes. It should be okay. And he should not have made any comments to you. Because A, it's insulting, and B, you're not even telling him to eat it.
No. Never did I even ask him to try it.
And C, it's he says, I don't really care about you. That's where I go. I don't like it at all. I think if anybody wants to bring their own stuff anywhere, they should.
Without anybody making a comment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So as we were just talking, I kept thinking in my head, what if my son came up to me and said, so-and-so said something like that? I would be just ignore them. They're jerks, clearly, let it pass. And then I was thinking my daughter would say to me, they're not thinking about this anymore. Why are you? So, all right. I just needed to get it off my chest, and now I'll let it go.
But I think honestly, this is not a you topic. This is an everybody topic. There's always people who make those comments, and you're like, what am I doing to you? Why are you saying anything to me? Can you just leave me alone? Mm-hmm. And they make those comments, and it is actually really hurtful on a deep part because you're trying to take care of yourself.
Right.
And that's where it bothers me. You can do anything you want. I have a friend who takes snacks into the movies because she doesn't like all the greasy, sugary, buttery stuff. That's okay.
Is that friend me?
Wait,
No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
what is it?
I do
Is it?
slip in, but no.
But we get to benefit from her bringing good snacks.
Yeah.
She has like apples and nuts, and it's great.
One more thing I just thought of, and I won't bog us down on this topic. This is the same person that if I said, this really was hurtful and mean, he would say that I'm too sensitive, and
Mm-hmm.
he would flip it around and be like, or if I complain about it, someone would be like, that's just how he is. Like, that's not an excuse anymore.
Nope. Nope. You don't get to behave badly and say, oh, that's just how you are.
Right. That's not okay. Sorry, it's not.
Not okay at all.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
I'm with you on this. And if I should ever know who this person is and see them, I will be angry on your behalf.
Thank you so much. That's what I really wanted, was someone to be angry with me.
I will, for
I
sure.
feel seen and heard. Okay. All right. Since I'm already chatting a mile a minute, I did apple cider vinegar as my call to action.
Oh my God, I cannot wait to hear
I
all
was
about
dedicated. Like, I was dedicated.
Wait, back up for a second. So you put a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in your water.
Every night, well, every afternoon, every evening around 4:30, I would come home from work and immediately put 1 tablespoon in my water.
Mm-hmm.
It was awful. I drank, if you guys can see my bottle, I believe this is 18 ounces, and then I ended up going bigger. But I put 1 tablespoon in 8 ounces of water. I would drink probably a fourth of it and then fill it with water, and then drink another fourth of it and then fill it with water, and then I repeated that all night long. It 100% curbed my appetite. 1,000,000%.
Really?
There were nights I didn't even want to eat dinner. And I am not kidding. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it, like, the taste of it absolutely killed my taste buds and I didn't didn't have any taste for anything after that. I will honestly say I ate less this week than any week I have in the past.
And not on purpose.
Not
you
on
just weren't
purpose,
hungry.
just because I was not hungry. It definitely curbed my appetite. It did not affect my blood sugar.
No?
Not at all. But my doctor seems to think it's my age and premenopause, and your body does weird things when you're in this stage of life. I don't know. Whatever. I also believe it affected my sleep quality. I think I slept deeper this week than I ever have before.
Oh. I wonder, see, my mind goes to, maybe it's because you were eating less in the evening.
Maybe.
Maybe because you said your stomach was cleaner.
Oh, I didn't get to the third thing I noticed. I'm not,
Sorry.
this is a TMI
Jumping
moment. TMI, and sorry about this, but I don't have bowel problems. I'm very regular. Though I will tell you, I feel cleaner. I have never felt cleaner in the morning after I go to the bathroom than I did this past week. Like, where I'm like noticeably like, oh my God, I feel lighter. I feel cleaner. I feel less, my stomach felt flatter on it.
That's amazing.
Definitely amazing. However, it gave me heartburn.
It did. I had a feeling. It
So
just sounds
I
like
can't do it. I would do it maybe once a week for a week, like maybe as like a cleanse type thing. But I was chewing Tums, and I don't think that
No, that's not good.
that's not good either. So I don't know why. I don't know if maybe 1 tablespoon is too much for me, and I need to do a teaspoon a couple times. But by the end of the week, I had really bad heartburn while I was doing it.
Yeah, that's not good at all. Oh, gosh. Well, I'm glad you tried it and you stuck to it. It just sounds not even a little bit palatable to me.
It was disgusting. Disgusting. But I mean, I had 3 great benefits from it. So maybe I try it in different amounts, or maybe I try the gummies, or maybe I try a pill form, maybe I try something, because I do think it helps.
I do definitely want to look into the supplement. I think if it doesn't cause me acid reflux, I would definitely do it.
Yeah.
But I already have a problem with that.
I know. So, all right, what was yours?
Mine was to reach for vegetables when I wanted to eat a snack. And this week, I've been really conscious about my snacking because I'm like, I'm supposed to pick a vegetable. So, in full honesty, I have a little bit of laziness when it comes to cutting up stuff for myself. I know.
You hate that word so much. Go on.
Okay, don't throw my words back at me. I don't like that. I just, I'm like just. So I would take a celery stalk, wash it, and cut the ends off, and just eat that. Or I take a mini cucumber, wash it, cut the ends off, and just eat that.
Okay.
And it was actually really refreshing. And the celery you have to chew, so you feel satisfied in terms of wanting to snack. I liked it. I thought it was good. It helped also with my stomach. I don't have the regularity that you do, but it helped me a lot. Especially, I think the cucumber is very hydrating. And whatever vegetable, I didn't have a lot in my fridge this week, but It was great. I would do it. And I didn't feel that after snack bloated, I still want something kind of feeling.
So I have a lot of questions. One, you didn't use any type of dip. You would just grab a stalk.
Yeah, maybe a little salt on the cucumber. That's it.
Okay. Second question is, and maybe this is part of your quote unquote laziness. Why didn't you just cut up a whole thing of celery and cut up a whole thing of cucumbers and do it? Why did you do one at a time?
Maybe this is wrong.
No.
But I have this idea in my head that if I cut it up, it gets like gross if it's washed and cut up. And I know that's probably not even true because people buy the trays and people do prep and it's all fine. I have this mental block of if I cut it, it's going to be gross and then I'm not going to eat it. I like to do it.
You want fresh. So it's kind of like how some people won't eat leftovers because you're like, it's not fresh. Yes. That's how you feel about. So you don't, I'm not saying you've never done this, but you typically don't make a big salad for the whole week.
No, I don't.
Because the same thought process?
Yes. I like it to be freshly made and my ingredients might change or what I'm feeling like that day. So I know that's not probably what we advocate for people who want to do this is do some prep. That will help you.
Yeah, so you don't do prep.
I don't do prep.
Did we? I don't think we ever have talked about this.
I think a little bit when we were talking about your weekly meal planning.
Yeah,
I don't do
you don't
weekly.
Do that.
I hardly do daily meal planning.
That's so interesting to me. Okay.
I wish I did because I think it would make my life much more efficient. I would have less wastage. Everything would be better.
No, but I think there's a lot of people actually that are like that. Like, it's not fresh if you don't freshly do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your vegetables and produce last longer because you don't?
Maybe. I've noticed the ones, sometimes you can go to Costco and buy the already cut up celery.
Yeah.
That seems to go bad faster to me, and I could be wrong, than the one that's just in a bag where you have to wash and cut yourself.
Okay. I think you're right.
I could be 100%
I think you're
wrong.
right. Actually, I think you're right. But I don't know. I really wonder if we should make a video and like cut one and not cut one.
Oh, an experiment.
Yeah, and just leave it in your fridge. I mean, it would obviously be wasting food, though, so I have a problem with that. But just to see.
No, we could just do it for a week, and then, and if it's, use it in a soup or something.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll have to plan that some.
I like the vegetables, though. I thought it was really good. I felt good after eating it.
Okay.
Which is always a benefit, because after you eat a snack, sometimes you're like, I didn't scratch the itch.
Yeah.
I still need something.
Okay. Would you do it again?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep doing it.
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
Keep doing it.
What's the thing you love this week?
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. So, I was sick about a month ago, and I had lost my voice. And whenever I get sick, I get this cough that doesn't leave me. It just lingers and lingers. And I had to fly. And, you get worried about flying and coughing because people think you have the plague. So someone recommended this to me. It's one of our CTA members. She's a nurse. Semi-retired, I don't know. She recommended this to me. It's called Fisherman's Friend.
Oh yeah, you've talked about these before. Go on.
It's original. This one is original, extra strong. I think they also come in sugar-free, but I can't do artificial sugars. The ingredients are really interesting. It's a capsicum, which is
what's that?
Capsicum is a bell pepper. I didn't really realize that.
Maybe I did know that. Okay, go on.
Dextrin, I don't know what that is. Eucalyptus oil, natural licorice, and sugar, tragacan.
Any of that stuff is.
I don't know either, but if you compare it to like a Halls or sometimes even a Ricola, they have a lot of ingredients.
Okay.
This one has very few, and the active ingredient is menthol. Now, I will say this. They taste very strong.
Terrible.
And very awful.
Okay.
And they make your mouth feel like you need to brush your teeth.
Really? Why? Like fuzzy?
I don't know. It's like, it makes you all coated. I have a thing about my oral hygiene, so I'm like, I gotta brush my teeth. But here's the thing. It worked. There was many places where I'm like, I don't want to cough here because people are going to freak out. It worked. It just saved me. I'll just show you. The cough drops are very little, but they last for a long time. So it looks like a little wafer and it's pretty small.
It looks gross.
It works though. And when you're coughing that much, you're like, I'll try anything.
Yeah. It really got rid of the cough.
This box has 38 things. I used it in my whole trip and I didn't finish the pack. And I got this from Amazon and it wasn't very expensive. It's also gluten-free.
And it's gross, but worth it.
You keep focusing on the gross.
Well, I think that the honesty is what you really have to go.
So I have a Ricola here.
Okay.
If I look at the ingredients, it also has menthol. It has color, extract of Ricola herb mixture, lemon, balm, linden flowers, mallow, peppermint, sage, thyme, wild thyme, natural flavor, starch, syrup, and sugar. So it has quite a few more ingredients plus the color.
So I have to tell you real quick, since you brought up natural flavor, I was watching a video with that Bobby Parrish
Yeah.
about natural flavor, and he said basically the FDA's only rule about natural flavor is it cannot be anything real in it.
What does that mean?
That it has to be basically artificial. Yeah, it was so. I want to do a deep dive into it because we almost need a whole episode on natural flavors.
We have to talk
Because
about this
I
at
was
some
like, I
point.
rewound the video because it was one I was like watching when I was like half falling asleep, and he's like, the only rule the FDA has on natural flavoring is it basically has to be 100% chemical.
You know what? Natural flavor is in everything.
I know.
It's in like tea, it's in snacks, it's in medicines, it's in
But
everything.
when you say that other fisherman's friend, it does not have natural flavoring in it, it's almost worth buying and then maybe putting it in your mouth until you can't tolerate it. Now, again, TMI, but like when I get a nasty cough, I pee my pants like when I cough. So I would
Of course.
worth doing that.
Of course.
So that when I'm at work, and I can't cough when I'm at work because I'm
Right.
nervous. Like you can't cough. So like
Right.
you need something sometimes for that.
And I have a cough for probably since I was a kid. When I get sick, it just lingers and lingers. And then I have allergies. So I have tried pretty much everything under the sun.
Okay.
All natural and unnatural remedies.
This is
So
great.
for me,
This is a great tip.
I loved it.
All right. Good.
I mean, not loved it, but
I
it
know
worked.
what you mean.
All right. Well, let's get into the topic today.
All right. Let's do it.
So someone recommended that we talk about intermittent fasting, and then I got really curious about. It seems like everybody knows about it. What's the thing? Like,
Right.
who cares? But then the more I started reading about it, I was like, oh, there's a lot to talk about.
And a lot I wasn't aware of, and I've never done it on a consistent basis. Like I've tried it like one day here, 2 days there. So this is a topic that I can't say I've ever done. How about you?
I have done it when I was
Regular?
really regularly.
Okay.
So I would eat breakfast by like 10 and then be done by 7:30. That was my thing for a long time.
Okay.
I would allow myself to extend it on Friday and Saturday because I didn't have control maybe of when and where and how we're going to eat dinner. But the rest of the week, I was 7:30 was shops closed. And some of our CTA members, our group members, do that also. Their kitchen closed at 5 or their kitchen closed at
And you're
7 or
very successful.
they're very successful. They feel good. They feel energetic. Some of them have lost weight because of it or in part to it. So I thought, well, let's talk about it.
Okay. Let's do it.
So intermittent fasting is an eating pattern where you cycle between periods of eating and fasting rather than specific foods to eat.
Okay. So
It
it's
involves-
basically I can have what I want.
Yes and no.
Okay, go on.
It involves restricting the time window during which you eat with the goal of inducing beneficial physiological changes. So there are a lot of health benefits that happen because of intermittent fasting. I think if someone is going to try this for weight loss, I would not say that it's great.
Okay.
And to your point, can I eat anything I want? I don't know if that's a great idea either.
Okay. But you don't necessarily need to focus so much on like a calorie. I mean, obviously we're not going to be eating cake all day long, right?
Right.
But, okay.
You should be still concentrating on protein and fats and fiber and good carbs and all that stuff.
Okay.
So the one method that I saw, which I think you found more, 16-8 method, which is
Yep.
16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of an eating window.
Yes. Yes. This is great for people with a consistent schedule.
Okay.
So this is not for your shift workers or if Monday you have something that takes you out to for a great example, like if we have days where we're working late at night or just a random schedule, 16 and 8 is not a good method for you.
Okay.
Right. The one thing I did find about specifically this one, if you're eating a healthy plan, like a healthy eating style, like you're on a quote unquote diet and you're eating healthy for weight loss, this is a very beneficial tool for your weight loss. Like I remember that episode we did on what's in your tool belt. Like
Yes.
this is a tool for that because not only does it have great aiding for your weight loss, but it also improves your blood pressure, heart rate, and blood sugar levels. This particular one, which I think
Yes.
is pretty cool.
Yes, very cool.
Yeah.
You
So
found some more though, right?
okay, so then there's the 5-2 intermittent.
I read that, but I did not understand that.
The only thing that I got out of this was 5 days you eat whatever, and 2 non-consecutive days you eat only 500 calories those days.
Oh my.
I know. per your
No,
disclaimer
no.
at the beginning. So it's kind of like you're kind of doing a fast, but maybe you're not doing a full fast on those other 2 days, but not consecutive. So maybe this would work for, I'm just giving an example, like Monday, Tuesday, I can do it and eat normal, but Wednesday, Thursday, I only can eat 500 calories because I have a crazy day and I can barely have time to eat anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So maybe that would work for the, well, no, because you're not supposed to do it back to back. So I don't know. It would be definitely looking at your schedule and figuring it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm sure that is probably not recommended for most people.
It is not recommended for most people.
Okay.
Okay, the third one is 14-10.
Okay.
So that's fasting for 14 hours and eating for 10. This
Well,
is
that's-
a more of a beginner one.
Okay.
If you just want to get into an intermittent fasting and you're like, I don't know if I can only eat for 8 hours.
Mhm.
This is more of a better option.
Okay.
This is actually one that intrigues me because I have low blood pressure, very low blood pressure, and I don't know if I can successfully wake up and not eat right away. I get shaky, I
Right.
get headachy, I get dizzy. I don't know if I can do that. But I
Yeah.
may be able to do the 14-10 without any problem.
Okay.
So that's
Well-
a one. Okay. The fourth one is eat, stop, eat. This one blows my mind. I don't understand. But I want to stop myself real quick and say there are many religions where you do fast.
Right. Right.
So it's not.
We have that in ours.
So it's unheard of to just not eat for a day. Anyway, it's exactly how it sounds. You eat whatever, then a 0-calorie beverages the next day.
Okay.
I mean, right?
So alternating days
Yes.
of eating and not eating.
Yep.
Okay.
I can't do it. I'll tell you flat out.
I can't do it either. I wake up and I'm like, I need my tea and I need my
No,
vitamin
you can
C.
have tea as long as it's 0-calorie.
No, well, that won't be the case.
Right? I don't know. I don't know why anybody would choose to do it. However, maybe your body needs a break of that. Okay. This
Mhm.
one's very similar. Alternate day fasting. Normal eating, then you limit your calories to a specific number that you decide. This one is very tricky because it gives you the feast and famine mindset, which I would think Eat, Stop, Eat does too, but
Yeah.
also the alternate day fasting does not show more weight loss than a traditional fasting.
For our discussion purposes, I think we should stick to the 16-8 and the 14-10.
I agree with you 100%.
I don't advocate. I don't know enough about any of the others, and I don't want to talk about it because I don't want someone to think that's a great way to go for weight loss.
There's one more.
Oh.
And this one is called a warrior fasting. It's a type of intermittent fasting where you eat small amounts of raw fruits and vegetables and then a 4-hour window of whatever you want. So you eat fruits and vegetables all day long, except for 4 hours of your day, you eat whatever you want.
That actually sounds like that could, in the right way, it could be healthy.
Could be.
You know, because you're increasing your fiber, which is always good for cleaning
Right.
out things.
So you're saying, oh, I can wake up and have strawberries and apples and fruit or vegetables. And then you pick 4 hours where you have nuts and good healthy fats. And you can cook your vegetables and your fruit or whatever it is. And that's called the warrior because you're eating raw fruits and vegetables during your off times.
Well, the thing that I would worry about, if you have 4 hours to meet all your nutritional requirements and you're aiming for what, 70 to 90 grams of protein, that's a lot of protein.
In that one window. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that would be really hard on your body, but I don't, as we said, we're not doctors.
Right.
I don't know. That's my theorizing.
Yeah. I, by the way, could not do any of these. I don't think I could during the school year. In the summer, I think I could play with things more when I have more time and more of a life.
Yeah.
But do you know how much thinking it would require me to be like, okay, what hours can I eat today? Because you'd have to really plan it and go, okay, so 4 hours, when do I have 4 hours to concentrate on eating my healthy foods and fats and oils and carbs and proteins? I don't. But I thought the warrior one was the most intriguing to me.
It is intriguing.
Because it's like, kind of like what you said, like if I'm hungry, okay, grab a snack. My snack would be fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You might have done that.
No, because I'm a little bit of a grazer. Like I'll have my breakfast and then I have something in the middle and then I'll have my lunch. And, you know, like I'm a grazer until the evening.
All right.
It would not work for me.
So why do people intermittent fast to begin with? Like, is it good for you?
It can be very good for you. It's not good for everybody, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So the benefits, I think you mentioned a couple of them, that you could have some weight loss with this. And the main reason why you can have weight loss is basically because you're having calorie restriction. If you say I'm only eating from 8 to 6, I don't know how many hours that is.
I don't either.
No, that's that's 10 hours. If you say that's my window, then you're restricting the calories that you would have eaten after 6 p.m.
Okay.
You know, and for me, my bulk of my calories were after dinner. So I'm saving myself from all the empty calories that I would have eaten.
Okay.
It also helps with improve insulin sensitivity.
What is insulin sensitivity?
So if your body uses insulin as a way to direct the glucose to be used, and if you're get these false starts with the insulin, and then your insulin gets overwhelmed, and then it just stops working, which is insulin. Why is the word escaping me right
I
now?
don't know.
Anyway, you know the thing that in pre-diabetics and diabetics they have insulin resistance.
Oh, okay.
That's what. Yeah. So the insulin just sort of stops working as it's supposed to. So then you have a buildup of fat, and sugar converts to it just gets stored instead of getting used.
Okay.
So if you have insulin sensitivity, then the insulin's turned back on and says, "Hey, you go here, you do this, you go there." It's like the key that unlocks the cells to get the glucose in there.
Okay. Okay. A lot of science.
Yeah, a lot of science.
Okay.
It improves cognitive function, so it helps you think clearly.
Really? Like the next day?
Just in general. And it reduces inflammation.
Why? Because you're letting your stomach rest and your digestive system rest?
Yes, so a 16-hour fast may provide more significant advantages, especially for fat burning and cellular cleansing. And what happens is the body relies on stored fat. So all the stuff that got stored when the insulin was turned off, for example, or couldn't use, it promotes autophagy, I don't know how to say it exactly, but
Wow.
It's a process where the cell uses the protein that got stored in there, and it, let me just really quickly find it.
So it's good for you, basically.
It removes the waste out of the cell.
Okay.
So it helps to clean everything up, which then helps your stomach function better, which then helps your brain function
When
better.
when you intermittent fast.
Yes. Basically, the way I would say it is just restricts your eating time.
Okay.
That's what I would call it.
So it's good on a cellular level.
It's very good on a cellular level for many people.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And the couple of questions that people have asked me is, can your sleeping time count?
Yeah. It's a good
And
question.
it does. It does.
All right.
And the other thing is that people should really, really be aware of is when you break your fast, or your focus should be on protein.
What, meaning your first thing that you eat should be a protein?
Yes.
Okay. So now I got to think about this. All right. Go on. Why?
All
I
right,
wonder
so-
why. Why? Is there a reason why? I mean,
Yes.
okay.
Protein is important because it is made up of individual molecules of amino acids that serve many essential functions in the body. So you're basically preparing your body with good starting blocks so that it can get ready to grow, you know?
Okay. So what about drinking?
You can drink clear liquids that don't have any sugar or milk
Color?
or
Yeah. Okay.
color, anything in there.
So what about
coffee,
Okay,
tea.
so let me ask you this. I get up at 4. My
Mhm.
coffee's at 4:30. It would have to be
Okay.
black, right?
Yes.
Oh, I want to say a bad word right now and swear, but
Well, then your window can be from 4:30 until 14 hours after that.
I know.
8 p.m., right? Is that right?
I don't know. I'll have to do that.
No, I can't do
No,
that.
I don't.
What's wrong with me?
No, I can't either. I can't. You need my fingers. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I
Well-
count on my fingers still. Judge me all you want.
Let's see. 4 to 4 is 12. 12 plus 2, it'd be 6 p.m. You would be done. If you're doing 14 hours.
I could maybe do that. Unless I try to do my coffee black. Anyway.
Well, if it's I feel, this is my own
Okay,
personal belief.
tell me.
I think your first coffee tea beverage should be the way that you like it because it gives you pleasure.
It does. All right.
So there's some other couple of things that you should know.
Okay.
When you fast, your human growth hormone increases and then your insulin goes down.
Okay.
So it helps with blood sugar regulation.
Okay.
It helps with fat loss and muscle growth. So human growth hormone is necessary for us. And this was what I was talking about before, I didn't find it before. When fasted, your cells initiate cellular repair, which includes the cells digest and remove old and dysfunctional proteins that build up inside of us.
Wow.
So then I went to something else. Okay, so when I was doing the acupuncture,
Yeah.
the acupuncturist told me that your liver and your kidney do most of their work at night to clean everything up.
Okay.
So then I went to thinking about, are your organs impacted from doing IF?
Okay. Are they?
So yes, actually.
Okay.
So the liver, when you do intermittent fasting, you have reduced liver fat content, which is a key factor in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So if you have a problem with this, perhaps talk to your doctor, but perhaps intermittent fasting would be a good choice for you. During fasting, the body starts burning fat for energy, which helps reduce the accumulation of fat on the liver. It also can reduce liver enzymes, which are often elevated when you have liver damage.
Okay.
Okay, a little bit more science.
Okay.
Sorry to get too in the weeds here, but it was so interesting to me. Your kidney, it may help with conditions like diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and diabetic neuropathy.
Really?
It may not cure it, but it may help with alleviating some of the issues.
Wow. That's fascinating to me because there's a lot of people that have that diabetic neuropathy.
Yes. I'm not saying it'll fix you
Right,
or cure you.
right.
It may also increase the risk of kidney stones if you're not hydrating enough.
Well, that's really important to point out. Okay.
Because if you're not eating, maybe you don't remember to drink water.
Okay, and that makes sense because you said your kidneys and your livers work the hardest at night. Okay. Wonder why they work the hardest at night.
Well, like the whole day's done.
Because your body's working, other organs are taking more priority during the day? Maybe?
Probably, like your heart and your stomach and your nervous system, and probably.
I'm trying to come up with an analogy, like there are parts of my day that work harder than other parts of my day. And then, you know what I mean? Like, so that makes sense.
Well, think about it this way. If you go to a football game, right?
Yeah.
The cleaning crew is not coming in during the middle of the game.
Right.
The crowd's going to empty out.
That is the best analogy ever. You're right.
They're going to come in and clean up all the popcorn and peanuts under the floor.
They're there. They're still there. The cleaning crew is still there, but they don't work their hardest until your day, the arena is cleaned out. That's what you're...
Yes.
Okay.
Like it's quiet, they get to work, they do their job, and they get out.
Okay. That makes so much more sense to me now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can always count on you to give me a good analogy that dumbs it down for me.
No, and I think I need it to be relatable. So for me, that's important.
Okay. Dang. All right. So do you want to talk about who shouldn't do it, or do you have more science?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
If you're under 12, you should not do it. So don't recommend it to anybody under 12.
Right.
And actually, the caveat to that was if you're under 18, your doctor should be involved because this is something that could potentially lead to eating disorders down the road.
Yes.
Like you said at the beginning, we do not want anybody to do that. So, like, it's not something that I think I'm going to even talk to around my children this week because I don't want them to know that I'm doing it. It's not bad for you, but I just don't want them to be concerned with it.
Right.
Okay. Women pregnant or lactating should not be doing it.
Yes.
Which makes sense to me. Like, you should not be messing
because it disrupts the female hormones. So.
Oh, is that why? You look at you. I didn't even do the why. It just does. Okay.
Now, I was curious about that too because we've seen all these reports of it's not good for women and it's not good for this and that. And I was like, wait, what? There's a lot of conflicting information, so I wanted to understand.
Okay, good. We already said this, but I'll say it again. If you have an active or history of eating disorders, you should not do it.
Yes.
Individuals with a BMI below 18.5.
Okay.
I don't know why.
If you're very lean, you probably don't get enough calories to, maintain your basic function. Okay. So it'd probably be really detrimental. Okay. You don't have a lot of stored fat.
Okay. Type 1 diabetes, liver disease, or low blood sugars should consult with a doctor before starting this on their own.
Because it impacts insulin.
Okay. I didn't know why.
Yeah. And I also think women who are premenopausal should not do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why.
Because it does affect your female hormones. And if maybe you've already had kids or maybe whatever, but it could disrupt your cycle. It could disrupt some of your hormone regulation that happens as a female. It may not be good for you. I'm not saying for everybody, but you can try it and see, is it impacting certain things about your own health?
Okay. All right. You should not do intermittent fasting if you are on meds that require eating with food.
Well, yeah. Even some supplements that are fat soluble.
Oh, good point.
Also that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one, maybe you can shed some light on this one. If you have IBS or chronic constipation, why would that?
Because, I think that can go either way.
Okay.
If it helps you to sort of regulate your gut, then it can help you. But if you have a problem hydrating, if you have a problem eating the right nutrition, that directly impacts IBS and, of course, constipation. So if you have a window of eating, you have to make sure you get all the nutrients in, particularly fiber and water, and you need to hit those marks. And sometimes that's a problem for people, especially if you feel overly hungry. You're going to eat stuff that's not good.
Okay. All right. And the final, well, maybe you have more, but who else should not do it is shift workers.
Because
Because you don't have a schedule that is like some people work 24 on, 24 off, 24 on, 24 off. It's just not. It's something that you should do if you have a consistent schedule. It's too much change for the body. It's like, what are you doing
that
today?
makes sense.
What are you doing tomorrow? Okay, so now you're doing this. You're not going to get any good results from it, I guess is the point of that. Because it's not a consistent thing. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Oh, also, I want to point out this was from prevention.com, and they said that the reason that this list was composed because there's not enough research to know the safety or effectiveness with these particular categories. So I just want to make sure I pointed that out. Like, there's not research done on these particular people to know that.
Yeah. I also had a few risk factors I wanted to mention because I don't think we would be doing our due diligence if we didn't.
Okay.
It can possibly increase the risk of cardiovascular disease.
Okay.
It can cause nutrient deficiencies, which we talked about a little bit. And what you mentioned, digestive issues, it can cause bloating and constipation. It can cause fatigue and low energy, headaches, mood swings, excessive hunger, sleep disturbances, dehydration, and potential for what you said, disordered eating, and an impact on reproductive health.
Really?
But we mentioned some of those before, but I think the key is if you choose to do intermittent fasting, you have to have almost a hyper focus on the nutrition.
Right. I was thinking of that too. It's not something you can just wake up and try and do. You have to plan, okay, I'm going to make sure I get my proper nutrition in today. It can't be Reese's peanut butter cup eggs tomorrow and then stop eating at 6 o'clock because you're going to get sick. You're going to feel gross. You're not going to be properly hydrated and all of that good stuff.
Yeah. You're going to be cranky and you're going to be hungry because you didn't give your body anything that it can use.
Okay. So what I'm hearing from this episode is it's definitely something that you have to really think about before you do. Mm-hmm. It can't just be like, I'm going to intermittent fast and see if I lose weight for it. It has to be like, I'm going to do it and see the health benefits I get from it. Just kind of like my apple cider vinegar experiment. Like I did it for a week to see, and I had to outweigh the pros and the cons of it. The same thing with this, right?
Right.
Okay.
And I think what you said is really key is you have to really plan it out, and it cannot be used primarily for weight loss because yes, fasting can result in weight loss. Mm-hmm. We all know that, right? Mm-hmm. Calories decrease means you lose weight, but you have to see the impact on your health.
True.
There are so many benefits to intermittent fasting. If you do it in the right way, it can really, really be beneficial for your health with the side effect of potentially losing weight.
Okay, so it's not something to do for weight loss.
I don't believe so.
Gotcha. So I have to tell you this, one mom I know, I saw her after I hadn't seen her for a while, and I was like, oh my God, you look so great. What are you doing? And she's like, I'm intermittent fasting. And I was so intrigued by it. And I said, what do you mean? And, I asked her some questions, and she said, I'm eating during the day, and I'm not worried about what I'm eating, and then I don't eat after 8 p.m.
And then what time does she start? Did she say?
She did not tell me the time she starts, but she does drink black coffee because I asked her. I said, what do you put in your coffee? And she's like, well, I'm a black coffee drinker. And I was like, maybe someday.
I'm jealous of those people.
Me too. I am too. But she said she's not dieting. Other than that, she's like, I'm not focusing on, I just eat whatever my family eats, where she's like, sometimes we get fast food, sometimes we get Subway. She's like, but I'm not eating after 8 p.m. was her number. So it's something to think about.
Yeah, I think so.
I also think that I'm going to okay, so go ahead. What were you going to say?
You know what I was going to ask you. So what is your call to action for the week then?
So I called my sister because I told her we were recording this and asked her to do it with me because it's always better when you have somebody to do something
Absolutely.
with. Which is why I love our call to action groups because you have somebody that you can be like, okay, what's working for you? What's not working for you? So we both are going to do it this week, 100% dedication to it. I am going to choose to focus on my eating window, not focusing on when I can't eat. It's the same thing, but I'm going to focus on my eating window. I haven't decided that yet. I know I should say it right now, but I need to sit down and really plan like my window. She's going to do the same thing. And we're going to then come back next week with her on here and we're going to discuss what our finds were and what we did differently and what worked and what didn't work and how we feel.
Okay.
And what about you?
I like that you're doing this and I cannot wait to hear and ask all the questions.
Okay.
Independently, before we recorded, I had decided that I would also try the intermittent fasting.
Okay.
The way I used to do it was Friday and Saturday, I would allow myself not to be time restricted. And I think what I will do is not eat until 10 a.m. and try to be finished by 7 p.m. Is that the right math?
That's 9 hours.
Oh, that's a lot. So I need to do more?
So
No, that's fine,
need
right?
to go to 8. Eat until 8.
No, I think I'm going to aim for 7, and then I have a little buffer if, like, my dinner's late or something happens.
So that's not any of them then. That's making up your own intermittent fast. Which is fine. You can make up your own, but it's technically not.
Is that what, 15?
8 or the 14-10.
What is it, 15?
I don't, you're asking, we need LJ, she's our math guru.
11, 12, 1, 2. That's 8 hours. If I, wait, okay, sorry. I need to revise that. If I start eating
At 11.
well, 11. All right, I'm gonna try something.
See, that's
All
what
right,
I need to do too. I know I need to sit down and really think of my math because I get up so early and I have to really figure out my window.
Yeah. I need to figure that out too. Because the morning I'm always like very hungry.
I know. But maybe if I drink water or tea, I can push it off. I don't know. So
All right.
next week we'll talk about our details. Me, you, and my sister. We'll all
Love it.
discuss what happened, what we found out, if it worked, all of that good stuff.
Sounds good.
All right, this will be fun.
I can't wait.
All right, have a good week.
You too. Bye.
Bye.